Hey, it's Lynn Brown. Welcome to the Gritty Women Global Podcast, episode 92. Change is coming one of two ways. I'm a results coach, a speaker, and a trainer. But let me just give you the 60-second version of how I even got here. So, the first half of my life, I was caught in comparison, literally trapped by the opinions of other people. It was more like living in a mental prison. I was totally unaware that my results were driven by my belief. The interesting part of all this is that I had a great childhood. I sat on the second row of church every Sunday. But I had no idea that my limiting beliefs were holding me back. I had never even heard of a limiting belief. Now for the good news. I'm now living from a whole new belief system. One that has truly transformed and is transforming my mind. It has renewed my mind. I finally accepted, received, however you want to say it, Romans 12:2. We will be transformed by the renewing of our minds. But for me, for Lynn Brown, my mindset truly began to change from broken to bulletproof. Now, I'm not saying it's perfect, so y'all hang with me here, because I still face plant several times a day. But now I have this confident hope, like never before. Now, how many of you would agree with me? Things are changing. Haha, newsflash, right? But the thing is, really, things have always been changing. Since the beginning of time, they have been changing. Even the house or the building or the office or whatever, the car, whatever you're sitting in right now, listening to this podcast, the outside of that building or whatever you're in is gradually, microscopically deteriorating. We can't see it with our eyes, but it's changing. And here's the truth about change. I had to learn this the hard way. But it is truly going to show up in one of two ways. Either from within, which is the best way, through like an inspired thought that you have or dream or your passion driving you to that change. Or it's going to come at you from the outside. And that comes across more like a demand. So I can't even believe this, but it's been 10 years. 10 years ago, a trip to the ICU and a heart attack demanded, so it came from the outside, out of nowhere, bam, I'm in an ambulance, go into ICU. It demanded a radical change for my lifestyle. It was during that time, those quiet 3 days as I was there in that hospital, I discovered that I was not the ruler of the world. That being busy stuff is so overrated. And isn't it interesting, most of the time when you ask somebody, like, how are you doing? That's like, busy. Oh, I'm so busy. What does that really even mean? I'll tell you right now, it's overrated. It's overstated and it's overrated. And that the fact of the stress and unrest, just not being able to rest in who you are and in whose you are, it can literally destroy your life. The main thing I learned through all that was, that there is a God and I'm not it. What about you? What are you aware of? Like, what can you see? I know there's a lot that you probably don't know about what's coming next in your life. I get that. We're all there. But what can you see right now in your life that if that one thing could be, revamped or renewed, that it would begin to bring this restoration, this renewal, this new rhythm that you so desire? Is it in the area of health? We are seeing right now across the globe the importance of health. So many people think health and self-care is so selfish. It's really not. The stewardesses in the planes that give the speech when they take the mask out and they're like, now first you need to put the oxygen mask on yourself. Well, that seems just so canned and just so, non-important, but it is very important. You got to take care of yourself first. What about relationships? Is there a relationship in your life that would benefit from renewal? What about the area of finances? Is all the information and noise that you're taking in from the outside, is that impacting your thoughts? Is it shaking your beliefs? Is it causing you to feel more anger in a certain area than you've ever experienced before? All the different voices that you listen to impact that still quiet voice that lives and longs to rule over your heart and mind. What about your dream job? Is what you're doing every day setting your soul on fire? Now, trust me, I know that every day cannot just be, sunshine and rainbows. I get that. But I'm just saying, does it just wake you up in the morning like you're so excited to go do the thing that you're doing? Or do you wake up, the alarm goes off 10 times, you hit snooze 11 times? Is it more like that? I think it's so interesting what I hear from clients so much. When I ask these questions, a lot of times the first thing they'll say is, I just don't know how to get to where I want to go. Well, I call BS on that. This is a family show, so I call bogus story on that because I believe that we do know. But honestly, nobody knows the entire blueprint. The day the Wright brothers, when they were young, ran into the house, told their mom they're going to build an airplane, they didn't know exactly how it was going to play out, the whole thing. The first time somebody looked up in the sky and saw the moon, they didn't know totally everything that was going to be involved in that. It doesn't matter what the thing is. It's not that you see the whole picture. It's just that you're willing to take the first step. But not starting is not an answer here. Picasso said, everything that you can imagine is real. I think that's so cool. Seriously though, when you have that thought or dream in your heart, it's not just something that popped out of Pinterest. It's something that was created in your heart. God inspired. You are equipped and you're enough. Trust me, gritty sister. If I can create a way out of the mess that I had made in my life, anybody can. Yes, even you. Trust me. I mean, I was $113,000 in credit card debt. Seriously, bankrupt. Emotionally bankrupt, financially bankrupt, everything bankrupt. I was a control freak. I lived out of control. Everything was just, this is the way it is. I parented out of control when my kids were young. I was a people-pleasing mess. Do you hear me? A people-pleasing mess. But I've been set free. And I'm now living in this constant state of renewal and restoration. Again, not perfect, but I have found rest in my soul. So here's my gritty hack for today. All of this, the fact that I'm even on this podcast with you today is a result of one habit that I created. And I'm not kidding you. And I think sometimes people probably just roll their eyes or shake their head and go, yeah. I want something more. That's kind of soft. Could you give me something else? Well, the reality of it is, it's what got me from where I was to where I am now and on the way to where I'm going. Well, when I hit the wall 5 years ago, it was 2015. I remember it was in the fall. I remember exactly where I was when I picked up the phone and I reached up. Now, notice I said I reached up. I reached up to one of my mentors, not down. I didn't reach down to somebody that was not where I wanted to be. I didn't reach down to somebody that was going to feel sorry for me and wallow around in my pity in the pig pen. I reached up. And I hope and pray that you have somebody in your life that will speak truth into your life. Because I'm telling you, up until that point, I had plenty of people that loved me. Plenty of people that, wanted good for me. But I did not have anybody that was willing to look at me in the eyes and speak truth. into where I was and what I was doing. So she challenged me that day to begin writing daily gratitude. Notice I said writing daily gratitude. And it's so funny now, even now, when I tell people this, they're like, well, I am so grateful for my family. And I tell them all the time, I'm like, no. I'm not talking about thinking about gratitude. I'm not talking about saying the blessing. I'm talking about intentionally every day, carving out time to intentionally write it every day. Only 3% of the people ever even write down their dreams for their life, much less write down daily gratitude. And I can't tell you how many times that I have given this challenge out to organizations, companies, teams, young and old, and have given a 30-day gratitude challenge without missing a day. Write this many times, 25 a day for 30 days, and call me. I will give you a prize. I'm telling you right now, not many people are willing to do it. But this is a great example of this being demanded of me, because I hit a wall. I mean, I tattooed this demand on my forehead in the form of a face plant. I mean, I hit a wall. So the journey began for me that day, November the 19th of 2015, and I began to write 25 things a day. Sometimes it felt fake. I'm not kidding you. It felt repetitive, but I did it anyway. Some days I totally felt like an imposter. I did it anyway. I didn't even believe some of the things that I was writing down that I was thankful for, but I did it anyway. Are you willing? Day in and day out, I did it. And now I'm going on 6 years. I can't believe it. It's so funny because I never even had a discipline. I don't know that I ever even did anything for 5 days, much less 6 years. I cannot begin to share. There's not enough time on this podcast for me to share all the good that has come from this one habit, and how many habits I have created from this one habit, like making my bed. I know that sounds funny to you, but seriously, that habit of making my bed came as a result of me starting my gratitude. It served as a learning model for me, and I realized, oh my gosh, you can really teach an old dog new tricks. And since that time, my life has changed in every area, and it's constantly changing. So for you today, think about this. What is one step that you can take today that will move you into the life that you've imagined for yourself? And maybe it's as simple as going to your pantry and taking the rest of the chip bag. Maybe you ate the other half of it yesterday, the Ruffles, and maybe today you could just toss it in the garbage. Okay, so maybe you need to pour water in it or ketchup on it so that you won't dip into the garbage and get it out. Trust me, I'm saying that only because I've done that before. Replace one canned drink, one soda today with water. Just one. Maybe you drink 17 a day. I don't know how many you drink a day. But just take one and replace it with water. How about that? Just start with one. Maybe leave a note for somebody in your family. Open a savings account. Maybe you don't have $5,000 to put in it. Do you have 5? Do you have 50? Maybe you don't even have 5. Find the change. Put it in a peanut butter jar in your house. Start a savings. Stop scrolling through Instagram and checking your phone every 1,000 times. I forgot what number I heard not long ago. It was crazy how many times people check their phone. Stop scrolling and measuring your life against the filtered lives of everybody on Instagram and Snapchat and whatever other chat that's out there. Join our Gritty Sister Squad. Check in daily to our Gritty Women. We have a Facebook page. I give you permission to check in on that, because that is just value added every day. It's not anything. It's just the gritty encouragement every day. If you want to level up your focus, one thing I would like to encourage you to do, maybe just check out. You can check it out on our grittyglobal.com. That's Gritty Global, GRITTY global.com. It's a 63-day to gritty challenge, meaning that there's a 5-minute every day sent to your email challenge and action step every day for 63 days. That's how many days it takes to create a habit, not 21 like we used to think. But just go there and check it out. If you've already completed level 1 and you're ready for level 2, you're ready for more, to go deeper, then we've got a program ready for you too. So go to grittyglobal.com and let me know if if you're ready. You can sign up at $63 for 63 days. Now come on, $1 a day. You're worth it, sister. You are worth it. I'm just excited about this time together. I'm excited that you've leaned into this, our Gritty Global movement. And if you've enjoyed today and received any value from it, please share and invite your friends to join us here, subscribe to our podcast. Check out again our 63-day to Gritty challenge on grittyglobal.com. And I look forward to growing with you this year. We're going to have a great gritty year. Remember, gritty is the new strong. Gritty is the new pretty. Let's do this, Gritty Sister Squad. And I look forward to seeing you next week. Take care.